Hey everybody, this is Eli Freestone, and you're watching my Week 4 reflection video for Technical Writing Term 1312. This week we actually have 4 different questions to answer, so to save time I'm actually going to post the question on the screen and then give my response. So let's go ahead and get going with question 1. At the moment I'm actually uncertain if I will really pursue Health Tracker Plus. On one hand, there's definitely room in the market. My research has definitely showed that, but on the other hand, there's a few things that I'm unable to do myself at the moment. Those being server-side stuff and then the encryption that would be required. Because there's personal data involved, encryption is an absolute must. So if I'm going to keep on, I'm going to mess with the general framework of it, and then if I learn server-side or encryption along the way, I'll obviously move it up to the next step myself, but otherwise I'm going to start looking for people that could either help me do it or that could even do it for me, and kind of take it from there. Um, it may end up still going to market, but there's a lot of factors that'll have to play on that. All right, so question number 2. The only real issues I had with coming up with my social media posts this week was actually with the tweets. I was obviously shooting for the 140 characters that Twitter limits the tweets, but I wanted to actually cut them down. My goal was 120 characters, so there would be room for somebody to add a little comment when they retweet it. And unfortunately, I wasn't even able to do that with all 3 of them. I think only one of them was in the 120 range, and the other 2 were in the 130 range. So there was still a little bit of a buffer room on them, but just not as much as I wanted. All right. So the third question, social media is pretty much a must these days when it comes to building a business of any sort. The reason being, just as our reading said this week, people are much more likely to listen to a friend or a reviewer about products than they are to the television commercials. TV commercials just don't really work anymore, so social media is a must in order to actually, make it. So yeah, I think it's actually a good thing personally, but it definitely has to be worked in. That's just simply the way it is now. So yeah, so question number 4, it's hard to say which would be more effective between a press release and a pitch email without knowing all the factors. For instance, if the pitch email or the press release is coming from a large company like Google, then that's obviously going to be effective on its own. But for independent developers and also depending on who the recipient is, a pitch email might be a lot more effective. So there's a lot of different factors, between the company and the recipients that really define, which would be more effective. So it's really hard to answer that question without knowing more. So yeah, I guess that's about it. This has been Eli Freestone, week 4 of Technical Writing, term 1312. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.